For the numerous people that are going to be derided in this article that we're going to be looking at, all of those toxic males that are online, all of those basement trolls that did such terrible things to the Marvels, well, myself included, but I'm not a basement troll or anything like that. Hell, I live very far above ground, thank you very, very much, but there are equal parts that community, which are, of course, taking their victory lap, because we've been calling out this stuff for years at this point in time. There are a similar amount of coping articles. Yesterday, I think we probably looked at the top tier one. That one out of Forbes was magnifique. But this Huffington Post one is pretty good too. It is pretty good. The Marvels never really stood a chance. Guys, it was always designed to fail. No, I'm not stupid. I am retarded. It's not exactly the own that you think it is. Critics and MCU fans all have something to say about the movie, and it's a symptom of a larger issue. Oh, like the paper-thin characters, the undefined plot lines, the muddled around purpose of the franchise moving forward, the emphasis on diversity, inclusion, and equity above the storytelling that made it the juggernaut of a franchise to begin with. I'm sure those will be the things that they'll immediately point to as the symptom of a larger issue. Have you heard? The Marvels is the lowest box office earnings of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Oh yeah, and it also broke another record as well with a $1.1 million 50% drop from the first record-setting Monday. So yeah, guess what? It's done. It's dusted. It's not hitting $200 million. Okay? Remember, it had a $10 million second weekend. Holy shit. Like, this thing is dusted, bro. There's nothing that's bringing this back, okay? So many headlines about the film, which had reported budget of a $274.8 million. Yes, again, that was the running tally through September 2022. So not exactly all that accurate, considering they still had months of reshoots to do, and we know about the belabored post-production process out of Disney. But yeah, okay, sure, you just go ahead and run with that number. It's still not going to make that much. Have been screaming about its failure. This is it, folks. The end of the Marvel franchise. No, there's a lot of people that have been saying, if you guys don't course correct the Marvels that's coming out, which is going to be your low water mark. They've been saying this for years. If you guys don't course correct at this point in time, this is going to be a catastrophic bomb. But nobody thought, legitimately, I'm sure that there are some people that are out there, oh, actually, I said it would only make $200 million. No. The people who could actually have their heads screwed on correctly said, this thing's going to bomb. And most people, most credible individuals, even the prediction firms were saying, yeah, about $300-400 million. Nobody thought, I don't know, maybe $200 million if we're lucky. It's all because of those pesky woke women who think that they can make comic book movies. Many detractors say, yeah, it's the pesky woke women. No. It's the pesky woke characters, and it's the pesky woke writers. Hell, it's turning your franchise into an ideological soapbox for you to stand and proselytize to the public. But when everybody was originally turning out for these Marvel films, they just wanted a good action adventure flick. They just wanted to see the bright lasers get shot at the bad guy, and then it all come to a satisfying conclusion. But this time around, none of that shit makes sense. And you're pushing a bunch of agendas and ideas that nobody really, in grand numbers, resonates with. Like, the only thing amazing about this is that they stuck around for so long. The Marvels is a sequel to Captain Marvel, Oh Thanks, which is the MCU's first female-led and co-directed film. This sequel was a follow-up to Ms. Marvel and WandaVision and Secret Invasion, but also in actuality had nothing to do with any of that stuff, okay? It was basically, yeah, here's some people that you don't know, and we'll fill you in the backstory of the Ms. Marvel one, but the rest of it, you're on your own. Yes, there are criticisms about the film that many people agree on. Yeah, like the fact that it's shit. Okay, like a lot of people agree on that, except for, well, your bought and paid for reviews online or the people that want continued access. But for the most part, it's dog water. Absolute tripe. Like the fact that some of the backstory needed more context. Yeah, that's what people are criticizing. Okay, and the villain was underdeveloped. No, the villain was just straight up bad and talked like she had Lincoln logs in her mouth. And, you know, what really makes you somebody who just looks like they have a generally pleasant disposition very frightening is to give her a fucking grill. What the fuck are you doing? But the vehement declaration that it's the worst Marvel film ever with the worst characters is a symptom of a larger issue. Yeah, don't address those valid criticisms, those critiques. Like the last one that I seen, it's like, I had enough. I had enough. I've said this multiple times in said series of films about the Marvels, but Iron Man 3, that was the part where I was completely and totally checked out, because in the lead up to Iron Man 3, I was trying to fill in my own gaps of knowledge when it came to Iron Man. Really loved Iron Man 1, dissatisfied with Iron Man 2, but then when Iron Man 3 was coming out, oh my god, the ultimate Iron Man villain, the fucking Mandarin's gonna be in this? And I just, like I said, I had to fill in all of my knowledge. And it's like, okay, so who's Iron Man's equivalent to the Joker? Okay, like who's his big bad? It's the Mandarin. Oh my god, we're gonna be getting a full realized Mandarin. This is gonna be really cool. This is gonna kick everything off. And then it was a fucking punchline joke that was just a simple bait and switch replacement with a fucking boring ass shit dick villain at the 11th hour. It was basically a reprisal of the plot, or at least that point, of Iron Man 2, where you had, Mickey Rourke doing all the legwork when it came to starring off opposite of Robert Downey Jr. in all of the marketing, only to be replaced by Sam Rockwell. And it's like, yeah, Guy Ritchie or Guy Pearce. Not the director guy, but the other one, yeah, swooping in, the Mandarin, Ben fucking Kingsley, and he looked so cool. It's like, oh my god, just a slap in the face that I personally didn't recover from, and for many people, still consider that one to be the worst, but at least it has a redeeming quality in the fact that Robert Downey Jr.'s there, and he's fucking perfect for Tony Stark. Like, okay, he's synonymous at this point in time with the character. What are the other? What are the other contenders for worst Marvel film ever, worst characters? Ant-Man and the Wasp? Quantumania? Like, is that what we're going to be going with? And that also came out in that same period of time where everything was starting to get poisoned and fewer people were turning out. But let's see. Okay, we're already trying to diagnose something that hasn't already been addressed yet. To put it plainly, racism and misogyny played a huge role. There we go in what is perceived as successful. Of course, genre films like the MCU installments are particularly guilty of this. How so? How so? It took Marvel 10 years to make a film with a majority black cast. Oh, and a creative team. Oh my god. Again, you listen to these fucking idiots, okay? These are your sycophants that you have left. Okay, these are the people that you were trying to make films to impress, but it's never fucking good enough. Oh, it took you over 10 years in order to have a majority black cast. It took you 15 plus years in order to have a bunch of women on screen, and then you wonder why you didn't have such success. No, because you used to make normie films for normie people, but they were tired of getting talked down to. They were tired of having your obscure politics shoved down their throat. And then they stopped turning out. That's what happened this time around. It wasn't misogyny. It wasn't bigotry. It was just the constant deluge of garbage being shoveled onto their plate. And you're telling them to eat that. Actually, you're not even telling them. You're trying to berate them into eating yesterday's moldy leftovers. No, people are turning out, or rather tuning out in droves, because Marvel, Disney, Star Wars, which we'll probably talk about tomorrow, have been co-opted by weirdos. They continue to just play specifically to their weirdos because they can't see the world past their nose. They write what they know, and what they know is this niche New York, Los Angeles, East and West Coast insulated metropolitan lifestyle that doesn't resonate with the overwhelming majority of people. This was a good movie, okay? You wouldn't have had a historic drop-off. You wouldn't have had a $1.1 million day less than 2 weeks into the theatrical run. But okay, maybe Disney's gonna learn from their mistakes. Spoilers, they haven't. And I'm sure that there's probably more cope in here as well. Feel free to read through the rest of it in regards to, well, the actor strike was going on. They could properly promote the film, okay? And now that everybody's been out there on the stroll, the only person who's actually endearing themselves to the public is Aman Vellani, who played Kamala Khan, who's actually the only one who's coming out looking good on that one. Brie Larson's still on the promotional tour, not doing all that much. But Marvel themselves have decided to release a brand new advertisement for the movie. A brand new trailer of sorts that'll really bring people back, or rather to the cinema. to the cinema in this case. A little 40-second clip, and I think that we'll all be interested to see this one. What are they going to do? What are they going to do in order to drive people to the theaters, in order to try to recoup some of those hundreds of millions of dollars this thing is ultimately going to lose? Is it going to work? Well, let's take a look here. It's only 40 seconds. What's the worst that could happen, right?
There's a new threat out there.
Okay. So far, whoa, what's with that? That CGI looks a little bit sketchy, and why pause? Who had pause? Okay.
I've never seen anything like it.
Oh, no. Oh.
We need
What the?
you.
Oh, what? Captain. Oh, my God. Oh, okay.
And you.
Yeah.
And you.
Oh, almost looks as good as what's in the film. Oh my God. You know, superheroes. Okay, superheroes. Okay, remember, this all started with a guy who created a fucking suit in Afghani cave and blasted people with a fucking flamethrower. And now what are we doing? Watching cats and fucking cosplay. Yo! God, yeah. Okay, because that was been one of the big criticisms of Marvel for a while now, that their CGI looks like absolute dog shit, and here it is. Well, I'm sorry, at least in this place. Now it's just complete and total puddle of cat piss, because what the fuck are you doing? Okay, like, I'm sure this probably wasn't cheap to do, but all of the writers for this fucking nonsense probably just brought one of their many cats to work, and it's just like, oh my God, which one can we put a sweater in? This will be so cute. The meowvils. Oh my God. They just, in theaters everywhere now. Does that encourage you? Does that inspire you to go to the theaters? Marvel, Disney, Hollywood. You get what you fucking deserve, because you continue to take brands that everybody loves and market them to the piss-stinking box wine enthusiasts, and you wonder why your projects continue to lose hundreds of millions of dollars. You can't be out of work soon enough. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.